Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to guess what episode? Episode 100 of the Hangout with Coach Kerry show. And as you can see, I have a birthday cake here. Would love to be able to share some of it with you, but of course I can't. But what I can do is share with you today some of the best of the episodes of the past 100 episodes. And today I am really honored to have three of my VIP panelists. They were very instrumental in supporting me in the early days and getting my shows off the ground. And I'm honored to have them back here today. And I'm going to have them tell you a little bit about who they are, what they do, because I would like to encourage you to find out more about them and what they have to offer. So, Kathy, why don't we start with you?
Great, Kerry. Well, first of all, congratulations. What a milestone, 100 episodes. That's a lot of time you've put in. And I have to say, from my perspective, I've watched a lot of them, and they're so great. So thank you for doing this. It's a wonderful resource for the business community. My name's Kathy Scott. I have a business called Departures Travel, and in the previous episodes that I've been on, I was referred to as Niche Travel. So since I was last on, I've actually purchased a travel agency. So now I have a boutique tour company specialized in women's tours and a full-service travel agency with a wonderful team of experienced travel consultants. So hopefully anybody on the call that would like to speak to a wonderful travel advisor could give us a call. Departurestravel.com is where you can find all the contact information.
Yay, congratulations. And within minutes of finishing this episode, I'm going to be flying off to Mexico, and courtesy of the help that I've had with Departures Travel. So thank you, Kathy. Okay, on to you, Diana. Tell us about you.
Thank you, Kerry, and I just want to echo as well, congratulations on your 100 episodes. That's a huge undertaking, and I have really enjoyed many of the episodes and that we're going to talk about in a few minutes here. But I'm Dr. Diana Galbraith. My company is First Get Healthy, and I'm a former family physician, mother of 7, grandmother of soon-to-be 2. And what I do is I work with women, particularly business women or professionals, who have invested a lot of time and energy into their business, and often at the expense of their own health. I specialize in helping with weight loss, but I also deal with women who have lost their energy, who might be struggling with extra aches and pains, just the things that come as we get older when we haven't taken proper care of our bodies. And I help women come up with plans that are very doable and fit into their busy lifestyle that step by step will help them get back their health that they so desire. And so again, that's First Get Healthy, 1st, gethealthy.com. Thank you.
Oh, well, now, thank you, Diana. Of course, you can see that I found how to use some of the effects on this, so I'm going to be using them today as well. So thank you, Diana. And again, I appreciate you being on this 100th episode and in the early days as well. And Grace, let's hear from you.
Good morning, Kerry, and my big congratulations for your 100th episode. What a treasure trove of business advice that's right there for us. It's free. So I look forward to, I've been on many of your episodes and I've missed some, and I look forward to catching up on them. So I'm Grace Gary. My business is Graceful Solutions. I'm a counselor, and I help women and some men when they hit a hard spot in life. It might be a difficult relationship issue, it may be a loss, it might be a changed time of life, and I have a special interest in emotional eating and weight loss. So I help people to find solutions that work for them and resolve the stuff in the past that's getting in the way. My business is Graceful Solutions, gracefulsolutions.ca, and I send out tips every month on emotional well-being.
Great, excellent. Thank you, Grace. Now, one of the things that Grace is doing, she's going to be actually heading off to Ireland for, what is it, 3 months now, Grace? Is that what you've decided on?
That's right. I'm going to be working virtually with my clients while I'm away in Ireland. My mother's turning 90, and I thought it was time to be at home.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a perfect example of the kind of thing that, you know, it's in today's technology that you can still get the support that you need, but people can be all over the world, as is the work that I do as well. All right. Well, so I thought today what I would do is I would pull out a couple of my favorite episodes where I had some experts, because if today's the first episode that you've watched of the Hangout with Coach Kerry show, you know that I've mixed it up. Either I've had VIP panelists on it, it's been just me musing with maybe some things that have come up during that week coaching my clients. I've been coaching for almost 19 years now, working with savvy entrepreneurs just like you who want to notch it up. Maybe you want to break through that six-figure income level. Maybe even you're already at six figures and you're trying to break it through, to really healthy six-figure income, maybe even a goal of seven figures. But there's a couple of little things, and so sometimes it's not a wholesale change of what we need to do. Sometimes it's just those little tweaks. And that's what my goal was with the Hangout with Coach Kerry show, to give you that little tweak. So something that you could just make that 1% difference this week that could actually make all the difference in the world. So I went through and this isn't by any means the exhaustive list of all of the expert interviews, but some that you may want to go back to and watch. Because what they were about. I had the opportunity to interview twice Heather Ramsey of Rewired International, and she really works on rewiring you for success. That's the outer and the inner game combination. And that was episode 99 and episodes 88. 99 and 80 and 88. Then I introduced Junice and Linda Monk, both experts in how journaling can transform your business and your life, how it can help you deal with any of the struggles you've got, kind of flesh out creative ideas. So those are episodes 94 and 76. I had Barbara Eady, who really talks about the power of your own story and how to get that out, and her episode was episode 84. I had experts on feng shui, on the language of success, on tapping, on your internal guidance system, all of that. We had a specific episode 66, just for real estate agents, and how to some tips that they had on how to do in a competitive market. And I spent 12 years as a top producing real estate agent and owned my own real estate company a number of years ago. So it was a really fun topic for me to have. Then I interviewed Katarina Rando, and she talks about how to put on events to really, really be able to rock your business, the power that events can do to get you clients by doing speaking engagements and whatnot. So again, that was episode 43. I'd highly recommend that you watch that. And then episode 28 and 92. In fact, there could have been another episode in there, I can't remember, but my good friend Michael Lozier, who's written over 2 million copies of the Law of Attraction, Law of Connection, and Law of Fulfillment books now are his next two books. And we, of course, talked about Law of Attraction, how to get your ideal client, how to attract the ideal client, all from a business perspective. And those were episodes 28 and 92, as I said. Please go and listen to those and comment on them, because I really know that all of these experts ones are going to give you some great tips and strategies. Now, I also want to tell you that for watching this today, what I want you to do is I want you to go to my Facebook page, Kerry Brown Coach, and I want you to comment below on where the episode is being televised, or where it's being shown, and comment there. And for everyone who comments and shares, I'm going to gift you a program I have called Reset Your GPS, and its value is $297. And it's really about getting clear on, what is your real purpose, and helping you identify that, and then really sort of tying that in and making sure that's tied in with your vision. Because unless you have those two pieces set, everything else is going to be a bit of a challenge. So please do go and watch that live. So if you go to, again, Kerry Brown Coach, and you go onto that Facebook page and you click on the link, you'll see that the event is right there. And I'm just checking to make sure it's working so that it's right there. Yes, it is. And you can be watching it live and making comments right then and there. So I want to just now go to my VIP panelists, and what I want to do is get them to tell me some of their favorite episodes. What were the lessons that they learned? Because I think by listening to them, you can have the opportunity to be able to hear so many great lessons that maybe might resonate specifically with you, but also might encourage you to go to watch that episode. So I hope that you will get a pen and paper and be able to note which episodes that they are recommending that you go and listen to. So Kathy, why don't we start with you and tell us what you are taking away, or some of the lessons you've learned in the episodes for you.
Okay, Kerry. Well, thanks for that. I mean, it's there was a lot, so to nail it down to just a few was a bit difficult. But I would say from the start, for me, the number 4 episode was really good. It was the one on taming your email. And in our business, email is something that I can get upward of 300 emails a day. So having a system in place to tame those emails was really good for me. So I really enjoyed that episode. Number 6 for me as well, time management. Again, there's multifaceted business. So there's so many things going on at one time, and really knowing which things to focus on and how to sort of fit everything in was really pertinent for my business. Again, for me, business systems, that time management was number 6. Business systems was number 11, and I am a highly creative person, so sometimes systems can fall by the wayside, and I really appreciated this episode because and I watch it from time to time. It actually pulls me back and makes me think, okay, make a system for that. So systems, as you always say. And that for me was really, really good. And then the other one that I really, really enjoyed was the one on the A-team, and that was number 54. And I think as a small business owner, especially when you're getting going, before you have even now I have a whole team, but at the time I didn't. That was just me. And talking about our A-team, so our lawyers, our accountants, and our business coaches, putting those people in place so you've got that A-team and you've got professionals to go to. That was a really good episode for me, a real aha one. So I would say that was my top 4.
Wow. Well, thanks, Kathy. That's great. And it was a real broad spectrum of learning that you had from it. And I think one of the things I want to just point out is that Kathy said that she will go back and watch a particular episode over again. And I really, encourage all of you to do that, because sometimes we need that little boost. We need that kind of refocus, getting our attention back where we need it to be. And so thank you, Kathy. I really appreciate that you sharing what you learned. It fulfills me, because that was really my intention for creating this whole series. So Dr. Diana, so thanks, Kath. Dr. Diana, let's go to you and let's hear which ones that really stand out for you.
There we go. I tried to mute myself.
There you go.
Well, I really enjoyed all those ones that Kathy just mentioned too, and I was going to comment on them, but she's done a great job, so I'll comment on a few other ones. I think the ones where you talked about the fundamentals of business in number 7, because sometimes we forget what's really important when it comes to business, and tying along with that, in number 9 and 10, you went into the different business systems, and number 23 was a really key one too, on targeting your market, because I think sometimes again we try and fish in a big pond, rather than really isolating who it is we really want in our business. And I think that's been a really key one for me. It's just focusing in on business professionals and women with the busy lifestyles. And number 20 and 21 I'm going to comment on too, because those were on how to do a business plan, because I think again, being able to put together a business plan in a very easy, straightforward way. What is the expression? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so I think those are the ones that stand out for me. And I haven't watched number 99 yet, your most recent one, but that's one I just noticed, and I really want to get on that one. When you're mentally and emotionally hijacked, that sounds very interesting. So those are the key ones for me.
Great. Excellent. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Well, in fact, 99, just to encourage everyone, was interesting because Heather Ramsey I met through some programs that I'm taking and courses I'm taking, and she's from Toronto, Canada, and she said, I want to have I want to have a winter office and a summer office, and our winter office was going to be in either somewhere in Central America. And sure enough, we recorded that episode when she was in Costa Rica. So on our way to Panama, and she shows us some of the view and everything else from there. So if you aspire to have that kind of a business, then watch that episode for none other reason than that. Anyway, thank you, Diana. I really sincerely appreciate you commenting, especially on the business planning one, because usually that isn't so sexy, that kind of interesting. People aren't that interested in planning; they'd rather just do, and yet. Unfortunately, the adage is true that when you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and so you do have to have some planning. It doesn't have to be complicated, but you have to have some plan, or anywhere will do. If you don't know where you're going, anywhere will do, as they say, and that's not a good recipe to get to a good destination. So thank you again. So Grace, let's go on to you. And what are some of the lessons you're taking away from the episodes?
Well, many things, Kerry, and the things that I'm going to identify, I'm not sure which episodes they are, but one of them is about self-talk and how to manage your mind. As a self-employed person, it's so easy to get lost in one's own mind space and worry about things, and so the language we use to ourselves as well as to others was very helpful. I'm not sure which episode that was, but that self-talk is very important. Another one is about tolerations, those things that drag us down. They're unfinished things that we must get to. And I've really learned a lot from you about making a list and have them located somewhere. So at least when I get overwhelmed with all the things I should be doing, I could look and see, what is it I need to do today? What are the 3 things today? So again, that's been about being strategic in terms of our time. Another thing I've learned from you is about marketing thinking about the people buy results. They don't buy programs, they buy the results that they want. And to think about that end piece when we're thinking about our planning our programs, but also languaging them. And the compelling sentence, the one compelling sentence, how do we explain what we do in the language that our clients use? As you say, what is it that keeps them up at night? And probably what keeps them up at night, it may not be the way we word it. We need to word it in a way that they can relate to. So that's about the marketing. Yeah, so there are many things, but there are 4.
Great. Excellent. Thank you, Grace. Yes, and it's interesting. Very often people have neglected to really define who their real audience is, and the problem is that what they're trying to do is appeal to everybody, as we all know, isn't it? And what I do can help everybody. But the problem is then, from a marketing message standpoint, is that it resonates with no one, and that so that it falls flat and doesn't get the results that you want, and the feedback that you want, and obviously the clients that you want. So thank you. And the tolerations piece is interesting, because I would say that on a weekly basis I will be talking to a client about tolerations. And for those of you who haven't watched that episode, it's really about identifying those things that are draining your energy. That either things give you energy or drain your energy. And things that drain your energy are incompletions, is one thing. So tasks that you have started and not finished, that list of things that you haven't even started yet, but it's pretty long, and so that in itself is draining energy. Sometimes it's things around our office, like it's a burnt out light bulb or that pile of papers in the corner. From a feng shui standpoint, when Gail Cole talked about having clean surfaces, it really comes back to that idea of a cluttered mind, cluttered office, a cluttered mind, and so cleaning things out. And so this whole idea of tolerations is getting them out of your head, because your head isn't really useful for a storage unit or a reminder unit, by the way, which those of you who watch the episodes about giving yourself tasks and reminding is it's really meant to be used for higher level creative thinking. So when you're keeping all those things in your head, it can't be used for the higher level creative thinking. So Grace, it was perfect that you should talk about tolerations, because really it's that list that we want to be clearing things off all the time, so that we know that we can trust that our life is getting, there's less stuff around us, that we're decluttering, that we're cleaning up things, and we're closing up any open loops as well. Because open loops that we have, again, drain our energy versus give our energy. So thank you, Grace. I really appreciate those comments. And any final comment on that, Grace?
Yes,
After I gave you a little bit of a reminder on that.
The idea I've had, Kerry, is about maybe for 100 days to watch one episode per day, because for the episodes I missed and the interviews that I missed, I think it'd be very useful. It's only a half an hour. I think it would give me my little pep talk every day.
Wow. Well, so what a great challenge. I'd love you to post that on the Facebook page as well, or on the comments on the website too, because I think it'd be a great opportunity to be able to again have everyone watch one a day, and some of them aren't even 30 minutes, some of them are 20 minutes, to be able to get that kind of reset, recalibrating on a daily basis. So thanks for that suggestion. That's great. Excellent. So what I want to do is just open it up. If you guys want to take yourselves off mute and just, any last comments that you have that you'd like to say about, has it really shifted maybe for you, or has there been a shift for you in some of the information? And Kathy, why don't we start with you?
Okay, that's great, Kerry. Thanks. Well, I mean, for me, I think the process for my business path from the time that you started to hang out with Coach Kerry to now has been quite a shift. And I believe that a lot of the encouragement that I received just on these calls gave me the aha moments that I needed to kind of take myself to that next level. And I think really take the fear out of it for me. Having systems and processes and knowing that you can go back and revisit things just gives you that little extra edge, I think, in business, and they're just invaluable material. So I really hope that people will come and watch them. It's something that you've created that certainly from my perspective has helped me a lot. So I know it would help other business owners as well.
Great. Thanks, Kathy. I really appreciate that. And how about for you, Diana?
Well, I just think you've done a fabulous job with these 100 episodes, Kerry. And I think my comment would be, I wish I would have had access to these before I even started my business. And so I would encourage people who actually are looking at starting a business to watch the episodes, because I think there's just so much to learn and to prevent mistakes that those of us who just maybe jumped in right from the start without all that information, prevent mistakes and be more organized and be more productive, more focused. And I think there's just so much wealth for those who are in the midst of a business, those are growing their business, those are even people who are retiring their business. But I think the people that would benefit hugely would be the people who are just early in starting a business. And I wish you would have had these there when I was. So they are great. And thank you so much for all the time and energy you've put into putting them together. And I love Grace's idea there of watching one a day. I don't know if I'll make one a day, but a couple a week, I think, yeah, I'm going to try and get through these again because there's some great information there. So thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And Grace, how about for you?
I think the thing I would like to comment on, Kerry, is the amount of experience that you bring and the amount of resources. You know, you've had a lot of training as well as a lot of experience, and so you bring in a very seasoned view on things, which is very helpful. You know, when we get into the kerfuffles of our immediate situation of whatever it is, you can sort of see it with a much broader lens, and it's very helpful to have that kind of depth of experience, so we can lean into that experience and borrow it from you instead of even if we don't have it ourselves, which is helpful. But also, you know, you've brought to my attention Brendan Bouchard and Dr. Ned, you know, lots of resources and trainings that you have done, and so I have benefited from being able to learn from you, who have learned from them. So I really appreciated that. So it's a deep well. Yeah.
Well, thank you, thank you. In fact, you know, one of my phrases and one of the mistakes I see so many entrepreneurs make is that they suffer from what I call the Wilson syndrome. And if you remember the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks, you know, he's a FedEx executive and he's marooned on an island, and he's there for years with nothing other than a volleyball that he calls Wilson. Of course, it's a Wilson volleyball, and so that's where he gets his advice. You know, that's where he he talks to it. And unfortunately, as entrepreneurs, often we suffer from that because we're behind our desks, we're on our own, we don't have feedback from other people, we don't have, we don't have a coach, we don't have a mastermind group, we don't have mentors, people to actually challenge our perspectives. And so, Grace, thank you for that, because I hope that what I do is I bring that perspective. So maybe those of you who are suffering from the Wilson syndrome might have a different perspective on it, and maybe challenge the way they're doing things. Especially if it's not working, of course. If it's working, then stay the course. But if you've got some challenges, then these episodes are one good way to get you out of that syndrome. So thank you. Well, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I am so honored to have been able to, be in your office once a week, to be able to share with you my musings randomly, whatever they might happen to be, and to get such great feedback from so many of you about how valuable you have found these lessons and these episodes to be. So I just encourage you, whether you want to do what Grace's challenge is one a week, Diana's, which is once every 2 weeks, or just go randomly, whatever it happens to be. Please, there is such a wealth of information that's there. And then I'd love to hear from you. Remember, if you comment on either the Facebook page or on the website, I will make sure that, and you share from the Facebook page, you'll get a copy of my GPS reset. It won't happen until I get back, and then I've got obviously some few things. But in the next month, you'll find that gift sent to you, and of course for my panelists, you of course are all gifted that program as well. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, everyone. And why don't you panelists, why don't you take yourselves off mute, and we'll just all sign off here. There we go.
Have a wonderful time in Mexico.
Yes, have a great time.
Thank you.
Yeah, take us with you.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for being my loyal fans. I truly, truly appreciate it. Bye-bye, everybody.